Samsung's new phones are here, and here's a first look at what these new phones can do. Hint, it's a lot of great AI stuff for camera, photo editing, and even productivity. This is all about the new Samsung S24 Ultra. Good day, you beautiful people. Welcome to LAZADA's Tech, where we do tech in your life in style. Friends, AI is the name of the game this year for Samsung's freshly announced lineup. The S24, S24 Plus, and S24 Ultra was just announced, and we got some time with the devices before launch. In this video, we're going to be talking about the phone with the best cameras of the lineup, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Of course, I also will have videos on the S24 and the S24 Plus. I'll link it up here and down below. But right now, let's take a closer look at the Samsung S24 Ultra. So, what exactly is new with this year's Ultra device? Well, first off, this new phone now rocks a flat screen, which I'm sure makes a lot of people happy because a lot of people aren't really happy with curved screen devices. Though personally, and I've said this before, I've always been team curved screen, especially for bigger phones like this. This phone now reps titanium like another phone we know. This means it's gonna be more durable, but more importantly, this means that this will be a lighter device, which is a big deal because this isn't exactly a tiny phone. This also means new titanium themed colors. We have titanium black, titanium gray, titanium yellow, and of course this is gonna be the one I like in the absence of a pink Ultra, a titanium violet. Actually, I take it back. In person, I'm liking that titanium and gray more. Who would have thought? Another big thing, the Ultra is powered by a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip, which is powering the new other big feature of this phone, all the AI baked in. And we'll talk more about those AI features later on in this video. Now, let's take a closer look at these phones. So I have the Samsung S24 Ultra here in titanium, which is looking very good. That matte back is really nice. It's not a fingerprint magnet, and we like that. From the back, it looks very similar to the previous Ultra, but it's the front here that'll allow you to tell the difference. Look at that flat screen. So obviously, one of the big things, the screen is not curved at all, although you still get curves on the sides of the phone, and that makes it more comfortable for you to hold this thing, specifically because it is a big phone and I have tiny hands. This change, according to Samsung, is because they take feedback very seriously, and they did get a lot of comments about how the curved screen worked with the S Pen and how it didn't work well with the curved edges. Again, I am team curved screen, but I guess people didn't really like that. So obviously at the bottom you have your S Pen. It pretty much matches the phone. You have that same clicker situation that really isn't the button. The button is over here. At the bottom, that's also your USB-C port. You have your SIM tray. Again, that is a curved side, and up top you have your volume rockers and your unlock button. Top and the other side is clean. One big thing I will say for someone who finds the Samsung Ultra phones a little bit too big for her taste, it is way lighter now because it's made out of titanium. So the big thing this year is AI, and there's so many cool new features we got to see. First up is AI slow-mo, which means that any normal video you've taken, you can now post-shooting bring into your Samsung gallery and edit so that it'll be slow-mo. This is pretty cool. This means you don't even have to shoot in slow-mo to get really nice slow-mo shots, and you can even pick specific portions of the video that you can slow-mo. You then have AI photo assist options, which allows you to enhance photos you've already taken. So for example, you can take out the glare in a photo just like what she's doing, or you can even take out the shadows. This is gonna be so great for Instagram girlies, honestly. What's super impressive to me is this next feature. This is the generative AI feature, which allows you to, one, cut out things on the photos and move it around, or you can cut out things that you don't like in the photo and completely delete them. You can even rotate and crop the photos, but then generative AI will fill out the holes in that edit you just did. That's actually pretty amazing. I've seen this similar feature on Photoshop, but now it's on your smartphone and anyone can do it. Again, Instagram is gonna be so fun. These AR features are not just on your camera. You also have AI features on your your Notes app, for example. This means you can auto-format, summarize, or even translate notes on your phone. There are even like 13 language options, and all of this on your smartphone in the palm of your hand. Speaking of translate, you can also live translate on a call or even translate while texting. And as you text, if you're a little lazy, you can even get AI to change your writing style. So if you write down something, you can get AI to switch it to something that sounds a little more casual or professional or social. I mean, that's definitely gonna improve my social skills. I just don't know how I feel about receiving a text knowing it could be AI that crafted this message versus the person I was talking to. You know what I mean? Either way, all really cool features. Now, one final AI thing that I did get to see was circle to search. This means that you can just encircle things on your phone and it'll automatically get AI to look up that thing. So for example, this quick search of New York brought us photos of the skyline. If you encircle a random building, you'll get info on that. If you see something in real life that you're curious about, you can go on your camera, circle to search that thing, and you'll get results. This was mind-blowing to me, so I tried it myself. I circled to search this camera I'm using, and dude, it pulled up the right one. So that is just a few samples of how AI is going to work on this phone and how AI is baked into this device. According to Samsung, this is a mixture of on-device and cloud-based AI, which means you have AI built into the Samsung keyboard or AI built into Samsung Gallery, but then you have other cloud-based AI features like circle to search or generative edits. Now, in terms of camera, this phone reps a 200 megapixel main shooter with OIS. There's a 50 megapixel shooter with 5x optical zoom. There's a 10 megapixel shooter with a 3x optical zoom, and this is perfect for portrait shots. And then there's a 12 megapixel wide. Now, first off, and this is not the first time we're hearing of this when it comes to Samsung devices, they are using AI to make sure that you get better photos when shooting with this phone. According to Samsung, they're now using this cognitive AI across all lenses versus only the selfie camera on the Samsung S23 Ultra. And they're also processing these photos that you take on a pixel level. Basically, what they're saying is that even if there is no hardware upgrade, you're getting better quality photos. Now, one controversial thing that I know people are gonna ask about when it comes to the S24 Ultra versus the S23 Ultra is the fact that the S24 Ultra has a 5x optical zoom versus the 10x optical zoom we saw on the previous generation Ultra. Of course, I asked about this, and according to Samsung, one, they looked at user behavior, and most people really do use 3x to 5x mostly. I know we've all seen those moonshots, but that's not something everyone does all the time. So yes, they did switch out that 10 megapixel camera that does a 10x optical zoom for a 50 megapixel camera that does 5x. So that 50 megapixel camera actually means that you can zoom into 10x and get optical quality pics. That also means you can do 50 megapixel 5x zoom photos or shoot 8K 5x zoomed in. Like, I don't know why you would need that, but you can. Right, let's do a quick camera tour. You guys know I'ma do it. Let's do a quick camera tour. Check out that 5x optical zoom. This is photos under wide, 1x, 3x, so we also get a 3x optical zoom. That is my bag over there. You get a 5x. Again, this is an optical zoom. You get a 10x and you can zoom up until 100x and then back to wide. Up here you get settings, you get your timer, you get your size settings, and then here you can pick out the megapixel size of your photo. So you get 12 megapixels, 50 megapixels, and you also get 200 megapixel full use of that main camera right there. You have your motion photo on and off, and here you have your own filters, and then you have beauty filters on the rear camera as well. Now on the side you get wide, 1x, 3x, 5x. Wait, let's do that again. 3x, 5x, 10x, and you can zoom up until 20x. And that's the most it will do. And then a wide, and then you also have your super steady mode here. Size, you can shoot in this is crazy, 8K 30 FPS, 4K 60 or 30 FPS. And of course, we did that full zoom test on full HD 30 FPS. Under more, you get all the different extra features. You get a RAW mode, a Pro video mode. You have AI mode for food, portrait video, dual recording, and single take mode. Let's check out the other side. We have portrait that can zoom 1x, 2x, 3x, 5x up until 5x, and here you get your different blur type. Now, in terms of selfies, the S24 Ultra is repping a 12 megapixel selfie shooter in that punch hole. Of course, I asked about this because we have seen, was it the S22 or the S21 Ultra that had a 32 megapixel selfie shooter that I was pretty happy about, but then on the S23 Ultra, we get a 12 megapixel shooter, and same on the S24 Ultra. So I'm like, why? But then the argument is that with cognitive AI on all the lenses on this phone, again, you're getting better photos despite not having hardware upgraded. Oh, and also that camera cutout, it's smaller now. Anyway, time for a quick selfie camera tour. Now on selfie, you can do wide and then you can do 1x. It's the same for photos. For videos, you can not zoom in or out, but you can shoot up until Ultra HD 30 or 60 FPS. That's cool. Now I will say that we have the S Pen, which means you get all those fun features like remote selfies, or you can switch the cameras. For example, you can zoom in, you can zoom out. Like this does all the selfie stuff that we know and love from the Ultra line. The S24 Ultra is also social media optimized, which is great for people like me who like being online and creating content online for social media. This comes as no surprise because we've seen previous Samsung flagships that are social media optimized as well. This is worth it to note. Samsung says that they're now allowing social media companies to utilize hardware. Yes, camera hardware on their phones. So this means you're gonna get to see features on your social media apps while shooting that you previously only saw when shooting with a native camera app. This optimization is supposedly coming to top social media platforms, and specifically Samsung partnered with Instagram. So say hello to better looking stories. Samsung also offers, get this, 7 years of Android and security updates, that's actually quite good. In fact, that's actually amazing. In terms of sustainability, for this particular phone, Samsung uses at least 50% recycled cobalt from recycled old batteries and 100% recycled rare earth elements. Also, with regard to Samsung AI, this is gonna be a family-wide thing according to Samsung. Expect it in more devices in the later first half of the year. And that was our first look at the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Exciting times. I will have more videos on this phone, so let me know what type of videos you'd want to see. If you want to see a camera vlog test or a social media test, let me know. This is just the first of many because I did have a limited time with this specific device. I also did join Samsung Unpacked in San Jose Live, so stay tuned for content on what went on at the event itself. That being said though, just a few thoughts to wrap up this video. The Samsung S24 Ultra to me is a phone that feels so familiar and yet is different. You get familiar features you love like the S Pen or the top of the line cameras, and then some tiny tweaks like that AI or that screen. But it's exactly those tiny tweaks that may just have a big impact when it comes to performance and user experience. We all know that the Ultra is the phone to get if we want the best of the best specs from the Samsung lineup, and maybe it's these little tweaks year after year that makes this lineup the powerhouse that it is. I guess we'll see when I get my review unit and test it out. My last point, AI is everywhere. Of course, it's not our first time seeing AI integrated in a smartphone like this, but I'm personally curious to see just how it'll all work out on the Ultra. That's it for today. Let me know what you think. All details on pricing and availability I will link in the description box below. If you want to see how I use my tech on a daily basis, find me online. That's isadoes_ on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Until next time.